Good evening, everyone. This is Carl Masson. Welcome to Haiti News. Today is August 12, 2026. What we're going to talk about today is about the election that should be taking place on December 13, 2026 in Haiti. Well, I can say that there is no good news about this election, because it's not a democratic election. It's more like a transition that the West, the United States, Canada are looking for. Let me just tell you more about that. There are some reasons why this election is not democratic. The first reason is that it's about identification card. I remember when the Haitian president was giving out identification card to the people, and there was a problem with that from the opposition. But I'm not saying opposition. A lot of those who are disagree with the president from the government and the private sector and the international community. What I mean by international community, I mean the U.S., Canada, France, and the West. But France is part of the West anyway. So when I say France, it means everybody in the West, every country is in the West. And I didn't even know exactly how deep this identification problem was in until I find some videos that one of the Haitian media showed online, because when the news came out that the illegitimate prime minister asking people to have identification card, and I found out that the same identification card that the illegitimate prime minister, along with those who has been in power right now after the assassination of the president took place, they were the one who went on the minds of the people to get rid of the identification card, because the identification card has a chip on it, and they used the one of the radio station in Haiti to spread lies, propaganda, and bigotry about the president is tracking them down, and that chip is some sort of a GPS, and the president can find out where they are. And I saw that some people decided to remove the chips from the card, messed up the card, and burn the whole card. But those identification cards were given to them for free. And now the same people from the government who brainwashed the people to burn and destroy the cards happen to be the same one who's going to ask them to have the same identification card. Can you believe that? And it's not going to be for free. And they're going to have to pay a sum of money. Very expensive. I heard that the identification card will cost them about 30,000 good. Let's just say 30,000 pesos. Do you know how much 30,000 pesos is equal to American dollar? Yeah, it's a lot of money. I could say that about $1,500 in US money that the Haitians is going to pay to have the identification card. However, I don't know exactly how deep that problem runs, and I don't know exactly if the people in the north and the south and the other part of the country destroy the cards, and I don't know how many people, listen to those people and brainwash them and then they destroy the identification card. I don't know how deep the problem is running. And at the same time too, they were asking the people to destroy the identification card. Meanwhile, all of them from the government and the private sector, they all have the identification card. Can you believe that? And yeah, and it seems to me that when the president was giving those identification card out for free, maybe it seems to me that he is more like socialism or communism. I don't know, even though he's a capitalist man, and he always up to business. And so now what? People is gonna have to pay so much money for that, so that they can participate in this illegitimate, fake election that is about to take place on December 13th of this year. So another thing, all of the people who are participating on the election, there are people that, assassinate the president, and they are participating into an assassination of the president, and they are the ones right now who are in the election. And I heard that the reason why the U.S. and want them to be on the election is because they want to put a stop with the investigation about the assassination of the president. But the investigation and the court cases are still going on right now. They should have put all of them, arrested them. But why they are still not large and running the government when actually, they are participating in the assassination of the president. No wonder I said these court cases held in Haiti and in Florida court, it's all a farce. It's all a cover up. I'm not the only one who said that. Even the mystical man that I listened to said exactly the same thing 2 months ago. And I've been saying that even before he said that. But I don't have to be a mystical person, rather to know about the mindset of the people who are controlling things around the world and in this country. And what about those who do the best to get involved and decided not to stay away because they've been excluded out of that. They don't want them to participate, like Guy Philippe and the police commissioner on the south, Jean-Ernest Muscadet. But he's not. He's a lawman. He's not participating into this election. But he always say to the media that he's not into things like that. But if the people asking them to run, no problem. But the system is not gonna allow them to run because they know that they do not want changes in the system, just like the president was doing while he was in power. And he has some kind of some sort of silence revolution that happened, and they just took them out for that silence revolution. And even Guy Philippe said it too. Guy Philippe said that the system will never give him a prime minister position because they do not want changes into the system. Because if they give him the prime minister position, they know that he won't be able to be controlled, and he just want to make things happen. Well, the revolution, since the president was in power, he doesn't need to have a revolution, but he's the president. But that's why they killed him. And there is someone from Guy Philippe's side said today that, I mean, in an interview that he has with a journalist or the press, he said that the kill the president, the money that has been spent to kill the president, it's almost reached $30 million. I repeat again, the money that was spent to assassinate the president reached almost $30 million US. First time, just today I just heard the news straight from Haiti, and he said that they have to demonize the president first before the kill him, and they said that they just put a fake picture out there that he's not doing anything in the country and he's the one who caused the crime and everything, while the mainstream media in Haiti hide all of the plan that he has to help the country out of the poverty that he finds itself into since independence up until to that point, and he inherited everything. And if he has a chance that to prove that he can get the country out of what it is, yes, he can do it. He's a very smart man, and because of that, of his smartness, his intelligence, So they have to take him out, and because he's a black man too. So yeah, that's what make things much more worse for him. And they will never allow him to save the country. And what else is going on there? And what about the diaspora? Yes. And I heard the news a week ago, and one of the random Haitian video that I check online where the diaspora already has the owner candidate to run for president in Haiti. But I don't know who is behind that. The U.S. is behind that. How can they take somebody from the diaspora to run for president in Haiti when actually, and the people doesn't even know who he is and what he's been doing, what kind of person that he is. But the people, they already aware what is going on in the country. They see that the same people who tricked them in Guy Philippe back in 2004 happen to be the same people who also tricked them into believe that the president was a bad president and assassinated him later on. And then the people see exactly the same people are still in power and do exactly the same thing again with this election. Who do you think is going to vote them? That's what is going to get interesting though, because Guy Philippe said that a week and a half ago that if he knew that that's how bad these people were back in 2004, if he knew that they were going to do much more worse than the government that was there in 2004, he could have eliminated each and every one of them and destroyed the system. That was the worst regret, because he didn't even know that what he was going to get himself into, because they were the one who called out for him to help them out, and then he helped them out. And even despite the fact that he's been facing a lot of assassination attempts, even back in 2004, after he did what he did, I didn't even know that they almost catch him in an ambush. And that's why ever since he's been like, staying outside of the capital, being more like, where he came from, like in the south, sometimes go to the north, but more like in the south, so that to escape an assassination attempt. Yes, this man's been through a lot, and he said that he will never gonna be a part of this government, because hey, the same people who tricked them, the same people who used them and tricked him into this coup against Aristide in 2004, they are in power. Why make you think that they have a change of heart? These people are spoiled. That's why he asked. That's why he said that he needs something new. And the way he said that you cannot be a new person while mixing up with something that is already dirty right to the core. What do you think is going to happen when you do that? You're going to get affected, of course. You cannot take something new and mix up two things that already dirty, rot, and ugly. Let's not even go about independent. How do you call that in this country, in the U.S.? Independent. How do you call that? I forgot. Or like third party or independent party, but it will never going to happen, because hey, we have to pay attention to people who are in power. What are you gonna do then? You're gonna just go mixed up with them? But imagine that if some of them say that they're going to be independent or third party too, just like the election that happened in New York City right here. The mayor election that happened last year, and you see that Republicans, Democrats, but I don't know exactly who they are, because some of them used to be Republicans and go to the Democrat, and I go back to Republican, and then both of them are two has independent. But even these things already become a disaster at its even beginning. So define independent, define third party. I'm not saying this to cause any problem, but it's right there for everybody to see exactly how these things go to turn out. What about the people who've been there in this political arena for so many years and they are wrapped to the core? How are you going to get them out? By using exactly the same system that they created, the control, and they are above it. All right. Let's see how they're going to turn out with this independent third party in the US. And yes, so as you can see, the US and the West, they already have hands on everything right now. So everybody that you see going to for the presidential election, they are all in the pocket of the US and the West, especially the US. And as for the illegitimate prime minister, he been won 2 months ago, but he's not listening. He been won again yesterday by the same mystical man. And he's been warned that if he happened to get involved into this election, if he happened to create a political party, if he happened to get involved as a presidential candidate, the same thing that happened to Aristide would be worse for him, because he's gonna go overthrow worse than Aristide back in 2004 and 1997, but also he's not going to be around, and there is no way they're gonna send him into exile. He's going to be like eliminate. But he's not listening, but he's into these things. Imagine that somebody who knows what is going on can tell you exactly what is gonna happen in the future, telling you to stop doing what you're doing. What you're gonna do? You're gonna ignore that person. Eventually, you know exactly that person proved many times that there are things he said is gonna happen. Is gonna happen. So that's his business. So I could care less about what happened to all of them in this government. So let's see how this thing is gonna turn out. And this is where I leave things for now. Thank you very much. Have a good day.